Welcome to another episode of Reece's Reviews with your host, Matt, and the other host of its namesake.
Hostess of the mostest.
Yes.
I'm here. Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
If you don't know, that is
Reece. Hey. Hey, everyone.
That's Mr. Reviews himself, Reece.
Yeah.
We're
back for another week.
Yes. And this podcast is all about, well, originally it was meant to be deep diving into Reece's reviews that he's left on his Letterboxd account, CashelSkyGuy. But now it's evolved so much, we've got random bits and pieces. Yeah. So this episode, you might as well get straight into it. Go on. Yeah. We've been teasing this for a little bit.
So offline, we've been talking about it, and I thought this podcast is constantly evolving. I want to try and bring new things in and spice things up for our audience. So I kind of thought I brought in this new segment to our podcast, and please, our audience, please let us know if you like it and if you want us to continue doing it. But I was thinking of doing something with what we were going to call the Entertainment Honourable Mentions. Where we go into and delve into maybe one or two little points relating to something going on in the entertainment industry or something going on in the fandom world of film, and talk about it and have a little bit to and fro about what's going on with a certain announcement that's coming out of the sphere that is entertainment. So I thought, try this little segment and see how we go and kind of educate our audience in something that's going on in entertainment world that maybe they're not too sure about or don't know about. So I would like to go into that. So one of the things that was announced at the end of last week is on James Gunn's social media. Anyone who doesn't know, James Gunn is the new head creative director at DC Studios. He just directed and wrote and gave us Superman, and he's now actually, at the present moment at this podcast, he is giving us Peacemaker Season 2. So he lit the internet on fire last week, and he announced that we are getting the continuation of what he calls the Superman saga, and we're actually getting a sequel to Superman earlier than we expected, and we're actually getting Superman Man of Tomorrow, and that is being released pretty much in July of 2027, 9th of July 2027.
Right, now, that is quick.
Yeah, so the fact that literally just short of 2 years away, we're getting another Superman movie. And the fact that we're getting that when we still haven't got a Shang-Chi 2 is incredible. The fact that we're waiting so long, we still haven't got it is absolutely incredible. But thinking about that, I'm just thinking like 2020, I'm actually looking forward to 2026, but 2027 is shaping up to be an incredible year for genre films. So just in the space of 6 months, just relating to comic book movies and superhero movies, we have 4 massive tentpole films coming out within 6 months of each other. We have, let me go through this list here. So we've got on the 25th of June, we have the conclusion of one of the best trilogies of Spider-Man to date, and that is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. That is getting released on the 9th of July. We then, 25th of June, that's the 25th of June. Then we go into July on the 9th of July for Man of Tomorrow. We then go into October when we got the Batman Part 2. And then we go into December when we got Avengers Secret Wars. So you got all these big, massive tentpole films coming out in the space of 6 months. And the fact that we not just got, in relation to those films, we've got other massive big tentpole films that in 2027 we have Godzilla X Kong Supernova in March, which is currently almost finished. It's just finished, wrapped up at the Gold Coast in Brisbane.
Yep.
We've got Star Wars Starfighter, which is the Sean Levy directed and Ryan Gosling starring role, which has just signed on Amy Adams to star in it as well, which is fantastic. We've also got the sequel live action How You Trained Your Dragon 2 coming out in June of 2027. We then got Frozen Part 3 in November of 2027, and the continuation of Tolkien's lore of Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum in December of 2027. So all these films, all these massive genre films are coming out in 1 year. So that is just like boggling, the fact that now we're getting a Superman movie is absolutely incredible. Like trying to figure out which of those, like those in relation to superhero movies, which one I'm more looking forward to the most. I'm finding it really hard to put into which one I'm more looking forward to. Like, I think for myself, like, I think Beyond the Spider-Verse I think it's going to be I think Beyond the Spider-Verse and Avengers Secret Wars, I think are going to be pretty much neck and neck of my level of excitement, anticipation for those two. But I'm thinking I'm giving the Beyond the Spider-Verse a little bit of a nudge because the way Marvel's been these last number of years, I'm really wanting to hope that Doomsday that comes out next year lives up to what they're promising, and so that leads into Secret Wars. So that's going to be pretty much underneath that, and then going in from there as well. So and going into Batman Part 2 because the first one was just incredible. Have you seen the first Batman yet?
Yes, I have. Yes, and yeah, very dark and like it was great as its own standalone world, and it's just so gritty and I'm surprised at
Grounded.
what they. Yeah, grounded. That's the word, grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that they took when you think that Matt Reeves as a director and the writer, he said he could choose all the villains in the DC universe and in Batman's canon, and he chose the Riddler, and Paul Dano just his performance was
Just
so
a
eerie,
creep.
so
Yeah.
eerie, and then Colin Farrell's Emmy award-winning performance as Oz as the Penguin was just fantastic. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to all these genre of films, but the main four superhero movies I'm so looking forward to. Plus, Marvel has locked a release date in 2027 for 17th of July, which we don't know if it's going to be a theatrical film or Disney Plus release, but some people think it's going to be a theatrical. So that's another thing. Marvel's got not just Secret Wars, but they have another possibility of a theatrical film coming about. What's your kind of, when I say all that kind of process, what's your thought process with that? With all that?
It's just, there's so much going on. My wallet is going to hurt. So, it's been hurting since 2008, since Iron Man.
Oh,
and, there's just so much crammed in. But I kind of taking part of it, I guess a little bit of grain of salt because, there are times where they will need to shift bits and pieces around and so forth. So I'm not going to hold my breath for those, anything that's going to be locked in for a certain date time because they might need to move it a bit because they just need a bit more time to get the CGI right or whatever. Pretty much the idea, which I hope that both studios do, is don't rush it. Like, you can rush by all means, but don't skim on it. Like the Flash is a prime example. So,
I'm one of these people I actually enjoyed The Flash. It's just I
enjoyed it too.
The CGI is debatable, even with the director coming about saying that was an artistic choice because he had to choose that was the Speed Force depiction that he created.
That's completely fine. I'm talking about where there's a moment where they're in the apartment and Barry's standing next to other Barry.
He goes through the wall? Goes through the
not through the wall, but he's talking to the stoner housemate.
Yep.
And but the CGI on Barry's face was so
noticeable,
terrible. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, they rushed that at the last moment. Anyway, but I do hope that just take your time, get it done when you can. Just don't skimp. And don't put the CGI people under too much pressure because that's where you're going to break
because that is the reason why we've been waiting almost, I think it's like 3 or 4 years for the conclusion of the Spider-Verse films because it came out in the trades that the CGI workers were pretty much putting in conditions that were not right for Across the Spider-Verse, and which pushed back Beyond the Spider-Verse, and then they delayed it even further, and now we're not getting into 2027 when we actually got Across the Spider-Verse at least I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. So we're working.
And you know what they need to do? Expand, make more studios, expand more, like create more jobs, and spend the money because you will recuperate that money because people like myself will go and buy that stuff. So
true. Yeah, that's fair.
And just don't make sure as well that you cast the right cast and write the right scripts, because you don't
Well, that's the
want,
thing. It's so
I
people.
don't know, Madam Web type or Morbius.
Craven.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, it's everyone gonna say, "Oh, just make a good movie." It is so hard to make a good movie. It is really hard, and it comes down to the script. Like, you've got to write a good script, and it also comes. It's a very fine line. Can some scripts can be adapted very, very poorly, and sometimes a director can adapt a really poor script and make it into a good movie. So it really comes down to both of those being on the same page. It's literally same page, and coming to terms with what the one vision is, and just hopefully they can bring that to conclusion. So yeah, so that was like one of the biggest things that I thought came out. Another thing I would mention as my second topic indication to Entertainment Honourable Mention is Mortal Kombat 2, which was supposed
That's
to come.
been pushed back, yeah.
Yes, this Mortal Kombat 2 was supposed to come out at the end of October, and this has been pushed back 6 months. Now,
That's
the reason why they gave it, I think, is a bit of a crock, but they said that they wanted to push. The thing is how the response that the marketing and the first trailer got, they want to give it more chance to succeed, and they pushed it 6 months to put it into the summer period of North America to line and to give it more of a chance to earn more.
to breathe, yeah.
What I think is that the momentum and the and the buzz that you've created with this first trailer, you've lost that. The fact you're going to wait 6 months, you've gotten this buzz, and the fact that you haven't got a massive nothing really big coming out at the end of October. So you have a great time to release a film like Mortal Kombat in that spooky horror season with a Mortal Kombat, which is MA 15 plus rated here in Australia. You got a perfect window for that. You had a perfect release date, and you had the great momentum with the first trailer to bring that in and bring out another trailer to give us more of the story, and then kind of have a good release date and have nothing really competition wise. Now you're releasing it in 6 months' time, where your competition's going to be The Mandalorian and Grogu, and you got The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah.
So I personally don't understand why they did that, because you had a perfect position right now in October, and there wasn't a massive big competition surrounding it. So what's your 2 cents on that? Do you think it was a good decision for them to push it? Do you agree with why they pushed it 6 months to put it into that summer period buzz when it comes to North America's market, or do you think do you think it was a bad decision for them to, or do you think it's a good decision for them? Which way do you think it was a good decision to push it, or do you think it's a bad decision to push it?
I think it was a good decision to push it. So
okay, so you disagree with me? Okay, cool. Let me know why you think that.
Because they need to give it more breathing space. They'll will be surrounded by so much competition, and also gives them that extra time to tweak the script or tweak the story a little bit. Because
here's the thing: the film's locked. They're not doing any reshoots.
No. But they could be putting more, like, because of the positive reaction to the cheesiness of Johnny Cage, they're probably putting some more of that into it, or adding more humor to it.
Okay.
So that could be it. But if it's just purely for just to avoid competition, that's great, because it is going to be, or is it MA or an R-rated?
It is MA,
an R-rated film.
There's less competition if they left it at the current release date. They'll have more competition in 6 months because they've got The Devil Wears Prada and a massive big tentpole of Mandalorian and Grogu.
Put it this way. When The Devil Wears Prada 2 and Mortal Kombat come out, right?
Completely different demographic, I know.
Exactly. So,
but Mandalorian and Grogu?
One interest, I'm not going to say gender, but one interest can go to Devil Wears Prada 2, while the other interest can go to see Mortal Kombat 2, and therefore, when they come out in the movies, what did you think of your movie? Oh, that's great. What did you think of yours? Oh, it's great. Cool.
I think it's just like, I think the way you're referring to is like you got two completely different audience demographics that go to you've got one demographic that will go to Devil Wears Prada, which is a chick flick rom-com, and then you got another one that is genre fantasy MA rated based. But I think that's the thing. You've got a film like Mortal Kombat 2 and The Mandalorian Grogu.
What are you talking about? Devil Wears Prada 2 is a blood sport movie.
Hell yeah, Bloodsport in the fashion industry. Have you seen the first one?
And Hathaway, takes out the rival with one of her high heels, straight into the jugular.
So yeah, you got Melrose Prado is one demographic of a film, but then you've got Mortal Kombat going up against this same demographic audience with The Mandalorian Grogu. The Mandalorian Grogu, I don't think is going to be as big as people think it's going to be.
It doesn't matter.
Because it's a TV movie.
That's
pretty much.
Disney.
It's a TV. It's pretty much an extension of it's a big episode.
Not everyone loves Star Wars, I hate to say.
But not everybody has Disney Plus.
But not everyone has Star Wars in their heart and soul. So you're going to go straight towards the Mortal Kombat. Like the gamers.
Yeah. I just think because that The Mandalorian Grogu has a very limited audience for the fact that it's a extension of a TV show on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, then there's no point. You wouldn't actually all the shows within that realm. You're not going to understand what's going on in the film. So that's already limiting your audience in that aspect as well. So Mortal Kombat has a little bit more of a giveaway, but I just think personally that they should have left it in October because all that buzz that they've released with they received from this first trailer, they've lost it. We've now have making the audience wait 6 months.
I don't think so. Think of it this way. Look how long it took for Avatar 2 to come out.
Yes, but but what I'm referring to, it might not take them 6 months, but if they were planning on moving it, they should have released a marketing in the trailer for it and put in the trailer released in October. Then they changed their minds. At least with Avatar: The Way of Water.
What about Sonic the Hedgehog when they released the trailer and then it got negative reviews?
But they didn't
release.
Trailer. I don't think they changed the release date too much on that. I think it was only done for about a month, and then they just revamped because all they had to do is remix his face. There wasn't anything else in the film that needed to be done just for that. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of good that we have got mixed opinions about that, which is fantastic. It's just that, I personally think that they should have left in October. You think it's a good idea for them to push 6 months, but hopefully it doesn't hurt them in the box office. So, and hopefully they've learned their lessons for the mistakes they made in the first Mortal Kombat, and they've rectified that and made it better for the second one. So I'm actually looking forward to Mortal Kombat 2. So I'm part of the minority. I actually quite enjoyed the first one, even with its not as good failure points that it had going for it. I still walked out of it having a fun time. So,
yep,
cool. And okay, so that's pretty much Entertainment Honourable Mentions. Please, audience, let us know what you think. If you enjoyed that segment, if we wanted to keep on going, I'm happy to keep on delving into the entertainment industry and finding out little pickups, little tricks and plots to pick out and provide to you. So give us your points, and that is that segment.
And we go from honourable mentions in the entertainment biz to something which we've been teasing for quite a while now. In fact,
yes, we have.
Weeks. So, we'll get this out of the way. And this is a TV show review from yours truly here.
Yes, it is. Finally.
Talking about Dexter Resurrection.
Yes, so
major spoiler alerts. I don't care because it's really hard to talk.
I think we've done this on this podcast. We've told about this podcast now. When it comes to TV shows, within 24 to 48 hours after it's released, it is a open forum to spoilers. So
put it this way: straight after, within 24 hours of an episode released, the official Dexter social media accounts will post up clips, especially of a particular major character dying.
Yep.
So, and then suddenly everyone people go, "Oh, spoiler alert!" It's like, well,
you had the time to watch it. So I personally think that after the first 48 hours,
that's it.
After the first 24, 48 hours, it is a free game. So Matthew, we've been teasing about this for the last number of weeks. We've been talking about it. So Dexter Resurrection, open spoiler discussion. Everyone, you've been warned. Open spoilers. Matthew, let me know. Give me all the goss. How did you find Dexter Resurrection? Tell me all about it.
Fucking amazing.
Hell yeah. Love to hear that.
Okay. Whoever, I'll put it this way. If you are very passionate, I never watched it. Well, I lie. I've tried to watch the series. This is Game of Thrones, right? I had watched 1.5 episodes and I gave up on that show. Okay,
Dude.
Now, no. Okay, but you know how passionate you are with Game of Thrones, right?
I'm not passionate. I think Jodie's. I think my wife is more.
Okay,
passion
you know
than
that
mine.
passion that Game of Thrones fans have with Game of Thrones and all that? I have that with Dexter.
Yep.
Okay, so Dexter Resurrection was fan-fucking-tastic. And it served the fan base beautifully. Now, do you have to watch the original series? Yes. Do you have to watch the sequel to it, which was called
Blood?
Dexter New Blood? Yep, where it picks up years after. Yes, you do. Do you have to watch Original Sin, the prequel to the entire series, but also a sequel to New Blood? Originally, you only had to watch the first episode, but after what was shown in Dexter Resurrection, yes, you have to watch the entire series. So you have to watch it all.
That's a
you have to watch it all.
opinion, because I've been hearing some people saying that if you wanted to watch Resurrection, you didn't have to. There are certain things like you would miss the nuance. What's in relation to Original Sin, but if you wanted to, if you've only watched the original series, you could go into Resurrection without watching New Blood or much of Original Sin. But
technically, with Original Sin, you'll have to probably watch the first episode.
Okay.
To just get a continuation of how they pick up directly from New Blood. Okay.
So sorry, are you talking about Resurrection or Original Sin?
I'm talking about Original Sin.
Okay, so that's the prequel series.
Okay, yeah, the prequel series of Original Sin. Spoilers. It's only so many times we can say that.
Yep.
Original Sin picks up directly where we were left off in New Blood.
Okay. Yep.
So New Blood, Dexter was shot and killed.
Yep.
Okay, but supposedly killed. The way that they did it was very clever, because I actually thought this as well when they first announced that Original Sin was coming back, and then Resurrection. Not coming back, but they were doing Original Sin and then they were doing Resurrection. And I've gone, I actually thought maybe because when he was shot and the way where it was all done, I've gone, yeah, they could do this. And then, yeah, it actually happened. And you know what? If it wasn't for Michael C. Hall, who actually suggested the idea of how he could resurrect Dexter, we wouldn't have Dexter Resurrection.
Okay.
So, Original Sin, you watch the first episode to see how they pick up after New Blood. And then there's other bits and pieces that happen in Original Sin, which are lightly dripped or, put in to Resurrection, because they would say something and there will be a flashback.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of throwbacks and flashbacks to the original series as well, because there was a lot of cameos and appearances from the original series. Okay.
Example.
And then killers or characters who are dead.
Okay, so just a bit of context for the audience. I'm not a Dexter virgin. I have watched, I think, the first 4 seasons of it. What was the season where John Lithgow was the villain?
Season 4.
Okay, so I've seen the first 4 seasons, and then after that season, I realized that the way the show was shot and done, I couldn't take too much away of the stylistic of how it was shot. I just it didn't grab me so much more. So I gave up after season 4. The fact that I got 4 seasons was actually, I think that was kind of a good testament. So I'm not a full virgin,
New Blood and Resurrection are filmed in the same style, different from the original series. Cinematic, like beautifully shot.
Okay.
And beautifully written too. Original Sin was filmed in the same way or similar way to the original series.
Okay. Yep.
So if anything, they are taking the step in a different direction. But Resurrection, it's done amazing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be vague, but I shouldn't be.
No, the thing I need spoilers. Like, tell me, like, okay, I'll prompt you. How was Peter Dinklage. Like, how was his character?
Well, this
What
is
happened
why I bring in Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yep.
Because Peter Dinklage was amazing.
He's such a
was
brilliant
cast
actor.
so well. The amount of people who not just cameos from the past, from the season, well, the first original season,
Yeah.
but then big name stars coming in to play new characters. Basically, a whole bunch of serial killers, really. So you had Neil Patrick Harris, Kristen Ritter,
Really?
Eric Stone Street.
Isn't Uma Thurman in it?
Uma Thurman is in it. Yeah,
the fact you got a series with Michael C. Hall, Uma Thurman, Peter Dinklage, Kristen Ritter, Neil Patrick Harris. That is incredible cast.
And also David Dasmalchian. I do apologize that I've said his name incorrectly.
Apologize for mispronouncing your name, Mr. Legend that you are, David. But can't pronounce your name.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
The Suicide Squad, and also
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil that we saw together. So he plays a serial killer too. So Peter Dinklage's character is basically a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and he has an obsession with serial killers. And
doesn't he do like a support group or something? Yeah,
in a way. He likes to collect and nurture them. Not collect physically, but like be part of the cool kids group, as he thinks. And Dexter ends up infiltrating that group by bumping into another serial killer who is known as the Dark Passenger, which is what his iconic name is for his inner creep, or his inner serial killer. But this Dark Passenger looks like him in real life or in the show. And then they use that because the Leon Prater, who is played by Peter Dinklage, totally blissfully unaware, like there's because they've got similar features and everything else like that. And basically, Dexter steals, when he kills the Dark Passenger serial killer, he steals his identity to infiltrate the party. So, and then they all start disappearing one by one. Anyway, but the way it's done is brilliant, and even because of Angel Batista from the original series and Dexter's good friend, because he got the phone call at the end of Dexter New Blood, saying that Dexter's still alive, and then so he was going to go and track him down. So he goes to Iron Lake, and Dexter's in hospital recovering from the gunshot. That after being shot by his son Harrison, and Harrison has escaped to New York. And then Dexter manages to track him down in New York, so that's why they end up in New York.
Yeah. So I hear that the character is I think so. Harrison is Dexter's son.
Yeah, so Harrison is Dexter's adult son now, who is the child of Dexter and Rita, his deceased wife, who was killed by the Trinity Killer.
That's Julia Benz's character.
Correct.
Yeah. So I hear that a lot of people weren't really liking the character of his the son.
That was the idea.
No one actually really liked. Not saying like it wasn't. It just said no one actually just enjoyed watching the character. Nothing was about him was actually really good to watch in New Blood, and the fact that apparently in this season of Resurrection he started off like that, but towards the end you kind of get a bit more of appreciation for the character. Is that right?
Yeah, because he's lost. He's lost because his stepmother, which was Hannah McKay, played by Yvonne Strakovsky.
Are you talking about the certain Australian beautiful actress who is also in Chuck?
Yes. So, because she ended up being the girlfriend of Dexter after, later on in the seasons of original Dexter, which you don't know because you stopped watching.
Of course.
And anyway, so Harrison had moved with Hannah, but eventually Hannah apparently died of cancer. So off screen.
Of course.
But that's why Harrison went and tracked down Dexter in New Blood. And then, they tried to bond, but Dexter didn't know what he was doing. And Harrison was feeling bitter because of, he had to grow up by himself without a dad
Yeah.
and without a mum.
Okay.
And then, so that's why he resented Dexter. And then it wasn't until Dexter Resurrection, basically, it was like, hey, we've got to live with each other type thing. So, but I'm waffling on way too much here. The show was great. Like, it was extremely suspenseful. Even like I tend to predict what goes down.
Yeah, of course
or have an assumption.
Everyone has their own fan theories.
Yeah, and so I did that with Breaking Bad. I predicted a couple of things that happened in that, and I'm like, yeah. But with Dexter Resurrection, it got to the point where I'm going, oh my god, how's he actually going to get out of this one? Like, I was going, I have no idea where it's going to go, and I am hooked.
Yeah,
like
that's cool, man.
It was nail biting, literally and figuratively. I was biting my nails, and
so I would say that you think that Resurrection is Dexter's back and it's returned to form.
Yes. So unfortunately, it came with a few character sacrifices, but a lot of them had. One main one who passed away, they had to die. So you didn't want them to, but it was just the way, because anyone that Dexter loves, and Dexter knows this, that anyone who he loves ends up dying. So, and
because becoming a serial killer, I guess.
Yeah. So, but the way that they did it, like, you think, how is this going to happen? They explain it all, and it's all natural too. It's not forced. It all happens, and it's like, oh, okay, they've done that. That makes sense. So, they managed to patch things up. They thought it through, or they gave it breathing space for it to happen, instead of just, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
It's actually, they did the processes.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I can see the logic in that. And it's like, holy shit. But it's just, they go, oh, why would they do that in real life? No, well, you don't know that because we know all the secrets.
Yeah.
That particular character doesn't. So that's why certain things would happen.
Okay.
But I cannot wait. The way that it ended.
That's where we're going to be my next question. Did they leave it open with a cliff? Did they did they tie everything up perfectly with a potentiality of could possibly bring back for a second season, or what was the ending? A
lot of things wrapped up, but they also left it open as well.
Okay.
Where it can easily be renewed for a second season.
Cool. Which I think it has. I think it has been renewed.
No.
Hasn't been renewed
yet?
Yet?
Hasn't. Well, at the time of the recording, nothing's been mentioned. The original Dexter Original Sin was announced to be renewed for a second season, and then they pulled the plug on it.
Right.
So nothing has been mentioned yet for Resurrection, but I'm sure it'll be announced at any day, any time.
Okay. And, So does Dexter already has...
And Dexter Original Sin should have been renewed because it was a great prequel.
Sorry, Original Sin, you mean?
Yeah, Original Sin was a great prequel. That's the one that got announced as a renewal, and then they cancelled it.
Yeah, because they found out how well Resurrection was doing.
Yeah. So, so they're going to invest, obviously, the budget into Resurrection, because Resurrection looked very expensive. So,
just with the cast, I can't imagine how much money they spent on the cast. Jeez. But yeah,
put it this way, a lot of the cast would die off in one episode. So it's like, think of it, the Chris Evans Deadpool budget cuts.
Pretty much. Do you realize how much he was doing to the budget?
Yes.
So overall, just to recap, it sounds like Dexter Resurrection was a huge success in your eyes. It
10 out of 10.
It lived up to your expectations, and it looks like it succeeded.
And then some. And
Fantastic.
I cannot wait for him to announce a second season. And I am all for that, because the way that they wrapped it up, so to speak, but also they allowed it to continue on. The way that they did it is that if it didn't get renewed for a second season, at least you can make up your mind on what happens to the loose ends.
Yeah.
So you can kind of patch it up yourself, but they'll be a fool not to renew.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is Paramount's big fucking moneymaker. Honestly, this is
Paramount
their
is
Game
doing
of Thrones.
so bloody well with their shows that the fact that they've got the entire Taylor Sheridan universe with you've got Mobland, not Mobland, you've got Landman, you've got
Landman. That is great.
Fantastic.
I love that show.
Season 2's coming out in November. I cannot wait.
I watched that in my own time, like it just absorbed it slowly.
Yeah.
And freaking hell, Billy Bob Thornton's
brilliant.
Damn awesome. Just in their don't give a shit attitude. Just I'm too old for
written for him.
It's just
so
absolutely
bloody
great.
good. Like Taylor Sheridan,
cast,
he's just brilliant when it comes to his shows. You've got Landman, you've got your Yellowstone universe, you've got all the prequel series to Yellowstone, you've got Tulsa King, so many great shows. So Paramount's actually doing really, and they've got all the Star Trek shows, which Stranger Worlds is currently going on at the moment. So Paramount's doing just rolling in the money at the moment. But that was so great to hear about that Dexter has exceeded your expectation. It was so good to hear. I really hope that you get your wish and season 2 does get greenlit for you so we can talk about it in the future episodes. So
yeah, and I kind of wish that Jeff Lindsay would write another book, but I can't because Dexter died in the books. So
it's like Game of Thrones. He was waiting for the author to come back with the book.
Yeah. Then again, the way that they did leave it with the books, it was more or less he falls into the after the Anyway, he was apparently mortally wounded, and then he just
drifted,
trails into unconsciousness in the water. But anyway,
okay,
we'll see. Anyway, but yeah, I would recommend Dexter Resurrection for any of the Dexter fans out there.
Beautiful.
And yeah, you kind of have to watch a lot of it because there's a lot of throwbacks and a lot of cameos from dead characters.
Yeah, so you can't just escape through it on nuance and things like that. There are certain storylines you have to know about what's going on in the past.
All I can say is, surprise, motherfucker. I'll leave it at that.
We're going to keep this trend kind of going, and thank you so much for that, bringing up that. So I think it's going to bring on to myself now. I'm going to keep the trend going on TV shows. I think, again, this is going to be an open spoiler discussion. We're going to be talking about Wednesday Season 2, which dropped their final 4 episodes last week. And now I have watched the complete second season of Wednesday. So this is going to be a complete open spoiler discussion on this. I'm going to spoil the crap out of it. So if you haven't seen it, this is your warning. You might want to skip along to the next segment if you haven't already watched it. So I've already pre-warned you. Now, Matthew, I probably know the answer to this question. Have you seen any of Wednesday? Season 1 or 2?
I've only seen season 1.
Okay. So at least you know season 1. Okay, so you know certain threads. So I love the mind that is Tim Burton, and you put Tim Burton with the Addams Family, and you've got like a match made in heaven. And then you've got the brilliance of Danny Elfman writing and doing the opening theme for the Addams Family. It was match made in heaven. So I fell in love with this series with the first season, where they took the Addams Family and delved a bit more into the character developments of each individual character. They put more into the fantasy sort of aspect with them all going to this. All of the Addams Family is going to this college or school called Nevermore, where everyone has their own outcast ability. Where Wednesday she has premonitions, and you've got Gomez we find out in this season he was always an outcast because he had electricity ability, just like Uncle Fester had, which he's passed on to Pugsley, having electric ability and things like that. And this season, I love the season. I think the narrative story plot, like the main story behind it, how the conclusion, I think I liked the first one just a little bit more, but I still loved just being in this world of the fantasy that is Wednesday and the Addams Family. Like Jenna Ortega, falling in love with every single character she's bringing to the screen. This character was made for Jenna Ortega. She plays it so brilliantly that I could watch this. They could make a season of this being 25 episodes and I would watch it. It was so fantastic. And the fact that it's done by the showrunners who gave us Smallville is just another amazing point. So you got the showrunners of Smallville, you got Tim Burton, you've got Jenna Ortega, you got an amazing cast behind when it comes to Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia. Then you've got the brilliant additions to the cast of this season. You've got Steve Buscemi coming in to take over as the principal of the school, and it was so fantastic to see how everything goes by. The fact that they actually brought a way to bringing in Gwendolyn Christie back, like I actually
Yep.
liked her character in the first season, Principal, and the fact that they found a way to bring in her back and being the fact that she was a long distant third cousin, fifth cousin removed Adam's family, the fact that they brought her in to be a relative, and the fact that at the end of the first season, we find that Wednesday has lost her spirit guide, and who is going to be her spirit guide coming into the second season? It is the principal. That's how they brought her in. And,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, and the fact that they actually got to bring in Lady Gaga into this season, like persona of Lady Gaga just fits into this world of Addams Family and Tim Burton, which is fantastic. Now, anyone expecting to see Lady Gaga in a massive role, she's literally in 2 scenes. That's it. She's in one scene with Jenna Ortega when she's in like an afterworld spirit world, and then she's in one kind of point when she's talking to her through a statue kind of thing. Now, the overwhelming the over arc of the season was still very well written with a lot of twists and turns, and the fact that they actually give Thing an origin story. You find out where, like, a lot of times when you watch the original Addams Family films and the 1970, I think it's the 60s or 70s TV series, Thing is there, but you don't actually, he's just part of the family. You don't actually know where he comes from. They actually give him an origin story in this season where you
Oh,
actually
really?
find out where he's from and how he
That's
comes to be. And the fact that he ends up being like the main villain behind the season, he ends up being part of him, which is actually a nice little twist that they gave as well. And he actually fights against his original master in a way with his hand, and goes back to the Addams family because that's where his love and loyalty lies, is with the Addams family and with Wednesday. So just the performance was actually fantastic all throughout. I couldn't talk about this season without talking about, I'm pretty sure it is episode 6, so just bear with me for a couple of seconds. I'm going to bring up the episodes. Pretty sure it's episode 6, where it's called Woe Your Thou Self, where this is where Wednesday interacts with Lady Gaga's character, and because she does something that she's not supposed to do, and Enid comes into it, they end up switching bodies and do a Freaky Friday, which is one of the best parts of television I've seen this year, and just shows the amazing talent that you have of Jenna Ortega and Emma Myers, that they can play each other's character, and just seeing Jenna Ortega playing the bubbly Emma Myers' character of Enid, and it's going all over the socials at the moment. The fact you've got this clip of the opening scene for this episode of Blackpink's song being played while Jenna Ortega's doing all of her makeup, and then she's dancing very happily. It's just brilliantly, like, I was having so much fun with that side of the episode of watching the Freaky Friday and how they were portraying each other and how they're interacting with all the characters and things like that. It was so well done. And I think as well that the fact that you've got like this entire cast, like the fact that they can get so many people. You got Billie Piper appearing in this season, was actually a nice surprise to see as well. And just seeing her come into it, and the whole premise of you're bringing in all these legendaries. So you've got not this season. I feel like they send out the casting call, and whoever they asked, they were able to get. Like you said, like I said, you've got Steve Buscemi coming in and pretty much being in majority of the season. You've got Joanna Lumley as grandmama, like playing Morticia's mother. She was brilliant, and she was just so cold and heartless, just like an Addams should be. And they bring back an Addams Family alum. They bring in Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, wow.
So they just went all out. Now Christopher Lloyd he doesn't play like he literally plays
Kind of
something.
like with is it kind of like similar with how they had with Christina Ricci?
No, well, Christopher Lloyd is pretty much literally a head in a bowl.
Yeah. Futurama style. Nice.
Yeah, he's in a head with a bowl. And it was just, I love this series so much. Yes, I think the story was a little bit more stronger with the first season, but this season was still like, wasn't. Please don't take away the fact that I'm saying that the second season wasn't as strong as the first. It's still a great season, and it still has a good twist and turns. Like I said, I just felt like I was on the edge of my seat, finding out what was going to happen at the end, more so than I did with this one. I felt like I could pick what was going to happen at the end more so with this season than I did the first. But I was just so in love with the entire cast and the characters, and just being in this world of the Addams family, and just. I loved it. I cannot talk highly about this series. Is it on? I at the end of this year, I think I'm gonna put a task to you, and I'm gonna do it for myself. We should do our top TV shows and top TV movies for 2025. I'm still. I think once I had some time to delve into it a little bit, I'm not too sure if it will reach the top like 5 or 10. My 5 or 6 or 7 top shows of the year, but I can definitely say it's going to be my honorable mentions. I'm not too sure. As I'm going to have some time to mail it. I'm still thinking about it. Plus, I've got some other shows I'll be watching towards the end of the year. But
I can already mention 2 for me right now.
Well, one of them is definitely going to be Resurrection.
Yeah, one will be Resurrection. This is no particular order at the moment.
Yes,
and the other one, is also Original Sin. But
yep. Okay.
But the other one is, which I haven't mentioned yet, and it's an Australian show, is The Backside of Television.
Well, you might have to talk to me about that at a future episode.
I will another time. We'll do it at the end of the year because it's a special type thing.
Nice.
I'll talk to you about it another time, but we will do that eventually. Yes.
Cool. Well, yeah. So just to summarize, like I said, I love this show. I cannot talk highly about just the genre that it is involved with, and just the characters themselves. All the performances are stellar and just engaging, and you want to watch them constantly. You just want to go and just be in that world and be immersed in it. And so even though some of the storylines, like, you can sometimes be a bit of predictability, you don't care because you just love being in that world and being part of the Wednesday atmosphere, and just watching Jenna Ortega being brilliant at bringing this character to life. It's just fantastic.
Great. And I'm glad that you're very happy with it, and it's on par with the first season, if not better.
Yes.
And Tim Burton still brings his signature style.
He does, and he directs a few episodes. He doesn't direct all of them. I think he directed a few episodes in the first season, like I think the first 2 episodes, and then maybe 1 or 2 of the last ones. And he did the same thing with this season. He directed a few of them in this season, which you can definitely see his stamp is in there as well. So, especially with the opening first episode, they use stop motion animation? Is that what he used in Corpse Bride and things like that? Or
and Beetlejuice, yeah.
Sorry, what did he uses in that, and he used in Nightmare Before Christmas? That stop motion animation?
Stop motion.
Yeah. Yep. They used that in the first episode of season 2, the first few minutes, just to tell him a bit of giving the groundwork or what some of the characters are going to be. That's his
signature style. Yeah,
I saw this and I went, well, hello, Tim Burton. It was so awesome to watch. So I could see myself like delving into this world, and because we're probably going to waiting so long for the next season, because it takes like 2 years to give us season, which is completely stupid. But the fact they make us wait that long, but I could see myself sitting down and rewatching the seasons back to back again in future time, in the future again. I just love it. I just love it so much. Excellent. So yeah, so recommend anyone who liked the first season, you would love the second season and just being in that world. So I know I'll probably just spoil the hell out of it with yourself, Matt. You probably don't have to watch it now, but I would say still watch it. It's a great watch, and you'll get entertained definitely.
All right, well, we're now towards the end of this episode of Reese's Reviews. We were going to squeeze in one more and do an actual movie review, but we're going to save that for another episode.
Yes, so
because
tune
we're
in
just,
for that.
we're just been knocking it out of the ballpark with premium TV shows and
some honourable mentions. Yeah, so keep tuned.
Yes.
Next week we'll go into it, and if you are interested in what we might talk about, it might be a certain English comedy with a certain Cumberbatch or Coleman maybe attached.
Well,
so
hold out. Enough spoilers. We've given enough spoilers.
Spoilers.
But I am looking forward to that. Yes. Keep following, subscribe, whatever you're listening to us through our podcast network or on YouTube. So feel free to email any positive stuff at info@mygeekculture.com.au. Leave a decent star review and comment on the podcast feed as well. We really would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And love to hear your feedback and leave comments on Spotify as well. So we read them. Doesn't mean we're going to reply to them,
but we do appreciate all our comments from our fans, even though I don't know how many fans we do have, but anyone who's out there who's listening, we appreciate you and we love you.
Yes. Thank you, Mum.
You're welcome, dearie.
All good. Yes. All right. My name is Matt, and thank you, Reece, for coming back on again.
Yes, and I am Reece. Have a great rest of the weekend or week whenever you're listening to this podcast. And as always, my friends, may the force be with you.
This has been Reese's Reviews for mygeekculture.com.au, produced by Matt Fulton Productions, mattfulton.com.au. Surprise, motherfucker.